Yeah, do you know that most people are already going through hell while on earth? It will be so disastrous if you eventually miss heaven. It will be disastrous because it's going to be like, oh, you suffer in earth, on earth, and you still suffer in heaven. What is currently going on globally, you think, oh, this is because the government is not putting in place the, you know, a socio-economic policy, the right type of economic policy that they are supposed to put in place. Yeah, you might be right. Some people will say, oh, it's just because the government is selfish. That is why they are doing this. You may also be right. Some people will say, oh, it's because the government is not putting, the right type of people at the right type of ministries or institutions in order to ensure that they do the right thing. Yeah, you may also be right. Some people would conclude that, oh, if I was educated, I might have, been greater than where I am currently. Yes, you are also right. Some people will say, oh, if I am from, a rich family, I won't find myself in this current situation. Yeah, but do you know that many graduates of nowadays are nowhere to be found? Even people with master's degree holder, even people with PhD, they are currently nowhere to be found economically. So if you do your research, you see that a lot of graduates are riding Okada currently. A lot of graduates are doing many jobs that they are not supposed to do. A lot of graduates, who even graduated with first class, they are doing a job that do not merit their standard, their academic performance. Yeah, so for you to say if you were educated, if you had attended university, you might have maybe been better off. That is not true. Go and make your findings. Many people that are making waves in the world today are not only making waves because they were educated. But the reason why I'm doing this video is just to remind you that what is currently happening, most especially globally, precisely in Africa or Nigeria, so to say, is not because the government is bad. It's not because the government did not put in place the right type of economic policy that will ensure that the people, the masses, enjoy. It is not because you were not educated, because education is not, a gateway to prosperity. There are so many people that were not educated and yet they were so rich, wealthy. Yeah, that is that. Then it is not because you did not come from, a well-to-do family that you are in the current situation you are today. There are so many people who are born without a silver spoon, and yet they were still able to get to the pinnacle of their career. So, but what I'm trying to say is, whatever that is happening has a spiritual undertone. And I must remind you that the Bible made us to understand the fact that when the end is near, a lot of calamities will befall the world. When the end is near, a lot of troubles will befall the world. When the end is near, a lot of issues will ravage the entire universe. And that is when you begin to see, if you look at it currently, if a country is not ravaged by war, it will be battling with insecurity. Some countries are battling with war. Some countries are fighting war currently. For example, Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Russia, and a whole lot of others. Some countries are battling with economic crisis. And if you must know, so many people are dying just because of this hardship. Some countries are battling with bad leadership. Some countries are battling with a lot of issues: corruption, insecurity, poor health status of the health sector, bad infrastructure, and a lot of other things. All these things are signs that the end is near. All these are signs that the end is near. And the truth of the matter is, when you look at what is happening globally, you see that in one way or the other, the Bible is coming to fulfillment. What has been documented many years back is becoming a reality. And that is the reason why I'm doing this video, for you to be reminded that the world is coming to an end, and it will be highly disastrous for you as a person watching this video to suffer while you are on this earth and also suffer when you get to heaven. So why don't you be preparing for your eternity? Why don't you be preparing for the world beyond? Why don't you start right now? Why don't you start right now? If you know you have not been doing it well, if you know you have missed this somewhere, if you know there is something that you are doing that does not align with God's commandment, why don't you start now? Go back to status quo. Go back to the drawing board and begin to put things in perspectives and begin to put things in the way they should be, so that when the end comes, you will enjoy in the world beyond. So that when the end shall come, you will be among the raptured. So that when the end shall come, you will not only you will not suffer in this world and also suffer in heaven. You will have a place to sit at the right hand side of the Most High God. My brethren, it is time for us to start planning for eternity. It is time for us to start planning for eternity. It is time for us to start building a home for us in heaven. It is time for us to start preparing a place. That is what Jesus Christ has said, I am going to prepare a place for you, so that where I am, you also will be. If you search your life today, do you think you are qualified to be where Jesus Christ is? If the end comes today, do you think you tick all the boxes to be at the right hand of the Lord? So don't suffer the economic hardship alone. Don't suffer that you are from a poor background. Don't suffer that you are in a country that does not recognize humanity. Don't suffer, all those inadequacies. Don't suffer joblessness. Don't suffer lack of security. Don't suffer lack of good education. Don't suffer all the calamities that has befallen you. All these things that I've mentioned, if you have gone through them in one way or the other, there is hope for you in Christ. That when you suffer here in this world, that you may enjoy in heaven. This is my little cover for you. I hope it finds a better place in your heart. Have a good evening.